Well, there's a sign you don't see every day. Very interesting. This store right here. And I'm walking on down Highland Avenue, trying to find somebody to tell my troubles to. That's a song by Tom Waits, but it's called Virginia Avenue. Go look it up. One of my favorite albums. You can see the Hotel Roosevelt sign in the distance over there. The Hollywood High School. Judy Garland, Bruce Lee. Can't really. I think that's Selena right here. Lawrence Fishburne. Ricky Nelson. Oh, looks like Robert De Niro's got a new movie coming out called The Whisper Man. Who else is in this movie? Michelle Monaghan and Adam Scott. The Whisper Man. All right, here's our first vintage Hollywood sign. Mel's Drive-In. How far do I have to zoom in so I can see her face? Mel's Drive-In. Here's the front part. Oh, look, you got The Nanny. I used to watch this show when I was a kid. Fran Drescher. And the Hollywood Museum sign. I don't know if those were gunshots. You never know anymore. I think this mural, this is the first time I've seen this Manny Pacquiao mural right off of Highland. Pacquiao Prime Boxing. Limitless. Alright. Let's head into 7-Eleven.
Two sets select bags of candy for just $4.50. Go ahead.
I need to rehydrate. Just got off the bus. It's like an hour bus ride. Insane people on there, as always. Alright. Let's get a Gator Light Zero. 14 years ago, when I moved to Hollywood, around March 14th, 2012, a little over 14 years ago, I moved into this corner house, which is now completely barricaded off, but it was right here. You see they put up this black wall around the entire place. You can't even see in, but there's a porch up here. See, there's a porch, and my room was right here. I know it's not a good, can't really see much, but we used to hang out right here on the porch, and then other people lived in this building. We called it the barracks. And this is Franklin Place. Right here on this busy intersection of Highland. One time I saw a police chase and they ended up coming through here. Like I was watching it on the news, and they came down the street, helicopters, and saw the guy running from the police right there. That's where it all began. I guess you could say that the new Mark Wahlberg movie coming out. Saw Sharon Osbourne riding down the street one time. I always liked this building over here, one of these old Hollywood buildings. And the sign on top, the neon sign here, used to be green. Back in the day, when I lived over here. Not sure why they changed it. All right, these apartments right here, I kind of forgot what these were called. The Hollywood Ardmore, that's what they are. I just saw the sign. But I used to have a friend that lived over here. Up here somewhere. On the, actually on this side over here. On the 5th floor. Used to hang out here all the time. What was it, 2015? I think it was 2015, 2016. Another old Hollywood apartment. Man, those were some good times back then. And right across from those apartments is one of the craziest houses that I lived in. They knocked this one down a few years ago. "6551 Franklin Avenue." I used to live there with a few other people. All right, as I said, they knocked down this house over here. And all these bushes, and this gate wasn't here when I lived here. Used to hang out back in this garage all the time. Back there, my room used to be on the other side over here. Used to hang out on this front porch with my ex-girlfriend all the time. This is the bathroom. This is another bedroom with a balcony on the back over here. Used to hang out on. There's a better view of it. This is the bathroom up here. They put bedrooms in there. There's a kitchen in the back here. But yeah, I guess whoever bought it, they turned it into a normal home, because when I lived here, it was just shared living. Back then when I lived at that house I just showed you, I came out here one night with a group of friends I hung out with at the time. And right here on the corner of the street, these cars, 2 cars came around the corner right here, road rage. And one of them ran into the side of one car, and it literally flipped it over. And we were walking along this sidewalk here. It's a crazy thing I'll never forget. Every time I come down this street, I used to hang out in this cafe all the time, apply for jobs, work on my laptop, hang out here with my now ex-girlfriend. And I think at one point it was yellow, and it was an eyesore. Thank God somebody repainted it. The white man says walk. Walk up this steep hill to another old school Hollywood apartment. All right, so this apartment right here, Claudette Colbert and Fatty Arbuckle used to live here. Alto Nido. There used to be a good view over here, but of course, people ruined it. Used to sit up here all the time. Used to have benches up here. But you people ruined it, didn't you? Not you, but you know what I mean. All right, let's look. Look, you can't even look in that door anymore. Let's look inside this old school Hollywood apartment complex. Look how incredible it looks in there. I think that might be Claudette Colbert. I'm not too sure. I mean, that looks like 1920s, 1930s Hollywood. And then you got a bar over there. That's amazing. I've never actually looked in this. Oh yeah, I just spotted this classic car. What is that? It's like a Volkswagen Carmen Chia. Coming off the highway. Thank you, car. Franklin Avenue, Vine Street, Hollywood. It's turned into the ghetto over here. Look at this shot. What is this, Vine Street? Capitol Records. See how far we can zoom in here. I'm gonna check out these murals. These look pretty new. I haven't seen these before. Abe Lincoln. I thought Charlie Chaplin used to be over here. All right, there's Marilyn Monroe. There's Charlie Chaplin. Old school Hollywood. Right, here's another classic Hollywood apartment, the Argyle Apartments. And Howard Hughes used to live here. Clark Gable used to live here. Ronald Reagan used to live here. Believe it or not. Yes. I guess Ronald Reagan used to live here when he was an actor here in Hollywood. Get another shot of the Castle Argyle. Again, Ronald Reagan used to live here. Howard Hughes, Clark Gable. Not sure what rooms, but they for sure lived here. Alright, I came up on this hill to get a better view. That's still Vine Street where I just was. And way over here in the distance is downtown LA. Everything's so blurry. But if I'm not mistaken, and I used to hang out on the street all the time, but if I'm not mistaken, didn't they shoot a scene from the movie La La Land up here, like on this street? I think so. The moon just went behind the clouds to hide his face and cry. Oh, wouldn't you know it, the police helicopters are out here in Hollywood. That's like the 8th police car that has gone over that bridge. The thugs are at it again. This is another old Hollywood apartment. The Hollywood Tower. Get this sign right here. Alright, this building on the corner of Franklin right here is a cafe. The 101 Cafe. And I got a funny story. The only time I ever ate at this cafe, I'll show you in a minute, is when I met up with a preacher and we had breakfast one morning. It was years ago, what, 10, 11 maybe years ago. The Clark Street Diner. All day breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's take a look inside here. I guess they changed the name of that diner back there, because when I always used to know that place as the 101 Cafe. Look at this wicked shot of this Scientology building on Franklin. The Moon Scientology Celebrity Center. They used to have movies at this every Friday night at like 8 or 9 p.m. I'm not too sure if they still do that. I used to come over here though and sit in the front lawn of this very building. And one time I went in there and one of the actors from The Sandlot, the redheaded kid, he was in the lobby down here. I think his name's Patrick. So they used to have, I think it was strictly just movies that Scientologists were featured in. I think that's what it was. The second house that I lived in was this house right here. It's kind of dark. But the house that I showed you that was on the corner of Franklin and Highland, I went from that house to this house. And right next door, I don't know if she still lives there, but I used to come over here and get my hair cut at this house. In the back of this house here. And the lady that used to live here, when she cut my hair, she used to tell me stories of all the actors and actresses that she worked with over the years. I guess she was a stylist for celebrities back in the 70s and the 80s. So good Hollywood memories. Even though now that is pretty much all gone. I mean, I don't really experience anything like that out here anymore. Down this way up the hill, Brad Pitt used to own a home there, and paparazzi would be parked out here sometimes waiting for him to come out of his house on his motorcycle down the street. And also I want to mention this house right here is right across the street from me sometimes is where Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy lives. And sometimes I'd come out and I'd see her sitting on the front porch talking to her neighbors. So yeah, a lot of good interesting times that I used to have here in Hollywood. Another old, creepy looking house. Because of the statues in the front yard. Getting a head start on Halloween, it looks like. Skeletons. So I thought I'd walk down Highland and Franklin and reminisce a bit. I'm not in any rush to get home because, of course, there's no AC and it takes a while for the heat that's trapped inside the house all day to actually leave the house. And it's only going to get down to like 78 degrees, 77 degrees tonight. So I can't wait until, I think, Sunday is when it's finally gonna have some relief from this heat wave. Look at this girl hanging out the window. She's a content creator. But not like me. Steel plate ahead, or a steel plate in my head. All right, I ventured off the path just a little bit. Franklin, just a block away. It's because I knew that there was this other old Hollywood apartment over here, the Trianon, which also looks like a castle. And the moon. Man, I'd like to have a room in this part right here. Look at this. Here's the Harvard House Motel in Hollywood. See, I ventured off again to the boulevard. But again, I knew this motel was over here, and this was built in 1947. You see, they got adult movies, color TV, AM, FM, waterbed. And they do have vacancies. All right, this hotel across the street is all painted up with Hollywood. It's got Marilyn Monroe, Michael Jackson, Elvis, Charlie Chaplin. I actually stayed in here 1 year, or yeah, 1 year for a few days. And inside each room, they have different murals on the wall, different themed rooms of those guys right there. I think I was in the Elvis room. This life is just a shared experience. There's some dummies in the window. They look happy. Look at this guy. You guys are in style for the summer, it looks like. Everywhere I go, there I am. Look, it says, we give everyone the chair. I don't know who this guy is, but he's handcuffed. Or this guy over here. It says, special electric scalp massage. 75 cents. Are you a wacko? This place right here is kind of new. How long has this been open?
Either a year or 2 years.
Yeah, it's a good ice cream shop. I came over here once. It's closed now. But look at all the milkshake flavors that they have available. It's like 30 different flavors. Got milkshakes, sundaes, raspberry sheet cake, confetti brownie batter, all kinds of delicious stuff. I've probably never had a better milkshake than from this place. It's called Handel's Homemade Ice Cream, actually since 1945. All right, the last stop on the tour. Right off of Sunset is this old 1920s vaudeville theater. which usually has the lights on. It looks a lot better. Oh, look, here's Danny Trejo. There we go, Danny Trejo, 12718, Night of Dark Shadows. And right next door is Pam's Coffee. It's a rather new, maybe, well, a couple years, new coffee shop that, I think this is Quentin Tarantino's coffee shop, I think, that he owns. Well, even without the lights, I can still get a view of the building. Oh, there's a Waymo. Look at this, the future and the past, all in one shot. 1920s, 2020s.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Oh, it's temporarily unavailable, huh? All right, that's fine. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I was just gonna go down Franklin Avenue, but I was like, why not just walk the whole way to the bus stop through Hollywood and Sunset? Nothing else to do. But anyway, have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.